Hello, YouTube family. How are you doing today? And today I am so glad to be here. I'm glad you're here watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Remember that this channel is all about reaction videos. I'm here to help you also through the reaction videos. And today we're going to be talking about people that don't have any money to pay for their groceries. Maybe you may know somebody in your family, or you know someone that is struggling and living paycheck to paycheck, and they don't have the funds to go out here and buy groceries. So I always teach my kids and teach people that when you're able to go into a store, whether if it's Walmart or Aldi's, and you're able to pick things out, that is a blessing, because a lot of people out here is starving. They're going to bed hungry. They don't have food. And we sit here and we have privilege. And a lot of times we don't want to help people. In the past, when my child was in high school, I volunteer for Love Pack, is to donate food every time to help kids that and adults that are struggling and having a hard time, because right now you could be doing good and this very second you may need some assistance. So always put your shoe into somebody else's foot so you can know what's going on. So today I'm going to share two videos, and remember, there's a problem. The problem is that people don't have the funds to go out here and buy groceries, and there is going to be a lesson. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into the first video.
Okay, so this story that I'm about to tell, it came from a question that I asked my son one day. I asked him, I said, if you had no money and you were starving and you had no food, how would you eat? He said, I don't know. What do you think you would do? What would you suggest? So I told him this story, and this is what happened. I told him, I said, I'm going to tell you this story about what I did when I was hungry. Okay, so I used to work for this chemical company about a few years back. I was a truck driver for them, and I didn't have any money on me at the time because I just started. So I had to wait about like 2 or 3 weeks for me to get paid, because we got paid every 2 weeks. All right, so I didn't have any money, but I packed a lunch from home, but I went off and left it. So I had to drive from Memphis to Birmingham. It was like a 4-hour drive, and I had to go and pick up another truck. On my way there, I realized that I left my lunch, and my stomach was hurting terribly. I was starving. So what happened is, I knew I had to figure out a way to get something to eat. So it was a Carl's Jr. restaurant that was next door to the trucking company that I had to go and pick up the truck from, because I basically was just going up to Birmingham, dropping one truck off to pick up another truck, bringing it back to Memphis. So it was a Carl's Jr., which is, and those of y'all who are not familiar with Carl's Jr., it is actually an off branch of Hardee's. Okay, yeah. So I don't know if they. Anyway, so it was a restaurant. I went inside and I asked for the manager, and I said, "Is y'all manager in?" And there was about like 4 people that was in there. They said, "Nah, the manager stepped out for a second. Is there anything we can help you with?" I said, "Yes. Is there a way that I can clean the tables, or take out the trash, or maybe help sweep up the floor or something?" And they looked at me real quietly. They like, "Well, why would you want to do that, sir?" I said, "Because I'm starving." I said, "I'm hungry. I have no money on me because I just started this job and I went off and left my lunch. And I'm a long way from Memphis. And I just want to get something in my stomach because I got these hunger pains that's killing me, and I just need to get full." And they all looked at me and they just started going back in the back, and they were like, "What you want, a combo or something?" I said, "I don't care, anything that'll get me full." They cooked me a combo, a large combo, Frisco sandwich, large fries, large drink. They said, "You don't need to do anything." I said, "Why not? You don't need me to offer anything for y'all?" They said, "Look, you the only person that came in here that actually offered their services instead of just trying to get a handout." So the point I made, and I told my son, is that if you want to get something, you want somebody to give you something, offer yourself up of value.
That is so right, y'all. This is a story where this man, you heard it, he left his lunch. How many of y'all forget y'all lunch? You may not have to drive 4 hours. You may have to drive 10 minutes away or 5 minutes away to get your lunch. Or you may have some money. He didn't have no money. He left his lunch 4 hours away. and he went to a restaurant. I don't know if you ever had them hunger pains before. I've had them before, and it's not a good feeling. It's not because I was starving at one time, it's just because I went a long time without eating. But he went in there and he offered his service and say, can he speak to the manager? Because he wanted to clean tables and work for his food. And it's still some people out here that are kind, y'all. Everybody is not mean. It's people out there is not selfish. They're out here to help you in every way that you can. And they gave him, say, what do you want? A combo. We need more and more people like that that's in this world. I remember, when my son was in high school, I volunteered at the Love Pack and helped people actually buy groceries for people that were in need. And like I said, people are so caught up on color, the color of a person. It doesn't matter, regardless of what color you are. People are struggling. People are living paycheck to paycheck. People need extra money. People are going to bed hungry every single night. And we got to come together as a community and help one another. That's what God wants us to do, is help one another and share some of the things that we have here, because you could be doing good today. A lot of people have never experienced that. My mother and my grandma always say, baby, keep on living, because you're going to experience all what other folks are going through. But you could be entering the storm right now and you will need some help. You'd be surprised how many homeless people on the street. And I remember when I was working downtown, I spoke with this homeless person and said, well, why are you on the streets? It was not because he wasn't trying to find positions. It was because he would apply for these positions and they wouldn't give him the opportunity. This homeless guy had a bachelor's degree, but they did not offer a position. He ended up living on the streets here. So like I said, it can happen to anybody at any time. My thing is I can feel this man's pain. I don't have to go through it in order to understand it. Some people got to go through this to understand what he's going through. But I'm so happy that he found these people were nice enough to give him some food here. So I'm glad about that. So you need to realize that even in the military, there's people out here that cannot afford to buy groceries too as well, and they're serving our country. So we're going to go ahead and check out this video.
But I cannot sit back and let people that I know and care about go hungry. Right now we are in the middle of a government shutdown. The military is not getting paid. I'm blessed enough to be able to have a savings and have an emergency fund. But for some people, especially new people in the military, young people, not at a position where they are able to do that or where they have done that. I have a soldier right now, brand new to the military, been in barely a year, 18 years old, who didn't tell me, maybe because she's too proud, maybe she's nervous, maybe she's scared, whatever the case may be. But she told her battle buddy that she has $3 to her name.
That is so sad. You only have $3 to your name. And this happened every single day to people. $3 to your name, y'all. I've been at my very lows when I freshly, like I was in my 20s. And I was paying bills. I was not a spender, but it was just this, how much I was making. I wasn't hardly making any, type of money. So to have $3 to your name to last you until you get paid, whatever, once a month or twice a week, every 2 weeks, that's hard. That is very hard. And my heart goes out to this military person. And plus they're serving our country and they're going through this here.
The battle buddy came and told me today. And I'm like, I know that there are programs, I know there are things, but in the moment right now, I'm thinking, what can I do to help this soldier? I am going to go to the commissary and get that soldier a gift card to buy groceries. It's Friday. I cannot sit in my house and be wondering, is my soldier going to be able to eat this weekend? Until Monday, when stuff open back up and the banks, and we can try to get her a loan, this and that. So I figure at least with a gift card, she can get some bread, some lunch meat, some cereal and milk, some cup of noodles, and be able to eat. But I just wanted to come on here and let people know that you may have people in your formation to the left and to the right of you who are scared to speak up, who don't feel comfortable saying anything, and they're suffering in silence.
That is so true. You just never know what people are going through. They can have a smile on their face. and they're hurting, they're going through something. You'd be surprised if you sit down and you talk to a lot of people, they're going through something, but it is still somebody out here that's kind. Look at this lady here. She's out here helping her soldier, giving them a gift card so they will not go to bed hungry. It's people out here that are out here just, want to help you. But yeah, it's some people out there that don't want to help you, but it's more people. We need more people like this soldier here is out here helping. Just imagine if you help somebody, whether if it's just giving them some bread and some bologna sandwiches or something like this to help them get on their feet, how things will be. You got to have a heart for people. A lot of people don't have a heart for people. They just think because this happened that, it's not going to happen to them. You don't want to wait until you go through something and then you realize, what this person feel. I've been through it. I know what it's like. It's not a good feeling, y'all. It's not a good feeling, being in a place where you're not able to pay for your groceries. You're hungry. Like in this case, this man left his lunch and he couldn't drive 4 hours away, but it's people that's, right here, and they cannot afford in your community, stand next door to you. When you walk into the stores, they're wishing that they can get something to eat, but there's nothing. And what gets me is that I worked in the hospital, like in the cafeteria part. They have leftover food that they're not using. They rather give it to make it as a slop than go and give it to the homeless people. I never understand that. If you have leftover, this was good food like baked chicken, fried chicken, spaghetti, desserts. They would throw all this in the trash can. And I'm like, you have homeless people. Why not, share this with the homeless people? They would love this, but they rather throw it in the trash and make it as a slop to give to pigs than give it to somebody that's a homeless. I'm like, wow, that's unbelievable, y'all. So, the problem is that people are on a budget. A lot of people cannot afford to buy their groceries. I've seen it when I went into stores. It's people that only have 3 items in their bag, in their basket or bag. That's all they can afford because the cost of living is expensive. When you go into the grocery stores, it's expensive. You come out with 4 bags, it's over $100. And we have to pull together, whether if you don't want to or not, we need to pull together. We need to learn, hey, use ChatGPT. If you have potatoes and green beans, there are some recipes. If you type in the ChatGPT, give me some simple recipes for potatoes and green beans. It's going to give you a whole list of recipes that you can use to get your belly filled. I used ChatGPT to make beef stew the other day, and easy, just maybe 4 items, and that's it. We got to go back, like I always say, like the old generation. How did they survive? How did our ancestors survive back in the day? How do people survive back in the day? We got to go back in that direction, y'all. Just let me know in the comment section what you think. Also, they do have food banks out there. If you're starving, living paycheck to paycheck, you need help with groceries. All you need to do is Google. It is different local food banks in your area that will help you. It doesn't matter if, whatever. If you have a job and you're struggling, they will help you. Go and Google and found some food banks off in your area where they can go and help you, y'all. Let's just stick together, y'all. And just remember, we're going to make it through, okay? We're going to make it through. Everything that we're going through is a test. The test is going to be a testimony. We're going to come out and say, I remember what I went through, okay? You just got to trust God and know that he'll make a way out of no way. Okay. So get out there and just be thankful for what you have. Stop complaining about what oh, I don't have enough cookies or I don't have enough bread. It's people that complain about things that they shouldn't be complaining about. But you just got to get out there, y'all, and just make it happen, y'all. I want you to keep pushing, keep pushing. You got this. You will make it. Just keep pushing. You got this. And don't forget to like and comment and subscribe to the channel. I'm here as always to help you in the way I can and let you know that you're not alone. We're all in this together because at the end, we will win. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.